into our very first map. Indeed, we shall. Big on the CT side, and Entropiq will be rocking out on the T side, and already picking up a little bit of utility as well, Nickelback and Forrester.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously big here, starting on the CT side, getting the choice of the side. I'm not too surprised that you would be opting to go on the defensive side. A player I'm going to be keeping an eye out on has to be the man to touch upon. Is going to be Searson. Of course, for right now is going to be the man with the Kevlar and the USP. Crimbo is going to be taking one for the team. Kit and a couple of flashes to work with. And this is a pretty aggressive posturing as Tapson finds the first kill on the mirror. Looking to stick on around. And this is interesting aggression coming out from the CTs. They've already found a pick, and Tizian still going to be poking and prodding for more. And he is being hunted down by Forrester, but Faven able to put him down.
And Big will be looking to try and rummage together a few more headshots, but it's Crad that comes out, reeling with his Glock. Opens up a little bit of real estate on the monster side, but they need to try and capitalize on this one as he runs through with the bombs. Been tagged down a little bit, but takes the head instantly off of Faven and goes in for more. Searson's now been put down in the dumps. And suddenly this round is spinning on its head. It's Tabson and Crimbo to do it all. Crimbo holds his line, but it's all a ruse. In the meanwhile, Elian is making moves over on the A side of the map.
Still need to get the bomb over there though, Vince, and that's going to allow a lot of time for Big to rotate a couple of players back. We have another CT making his way inside a connected Crimbo. We wouldn't be expecting this. Nickelback, he needs to win this duel. Instead, he opts to just leg it towards the A bomb side, and Crimbo, does he go for the hunt is the question. Nickelback waiting for him to push on in. 25 seconds, they need to get the bomb down.
Yeah, time running so scarce. And now able to pivot at the back of the site, waiting. Anticipating the plant to come down. Now can show his hand. He won't get the frag, but he does force them away to reposition. They're sneaking the bomb underneath the nose. They've somehow got this plant down, and now Nickelback 1-on-1. Up against Tabson, still alive, still about kicking, and Crimbo takes off the first head, but whiffs the second time of asking. And Nickelback will clutch it down for the T's. Entropiq claim first blood.
That was such a huge round coming in from Crad, right? 3K for him. And at first, those 2 kills he got on the B bomb side, just pure reaction, even finding the player inside of Heavens. And Big, they get the first 2 opening picks. Bit questionable as to why they kept on re-aggressing, right? That fed Crad his first kill towards Monster, but they had the right read. They were trying to disrupt that B take coming in from Entropiq, but they steal the round away. Nickelback, just a body tag is good enough, as we will, of course, see the eco actually coming out for the side of Big. And this is something which we've had discussions about, Vince, you know, on the Sphere and whatnot, where we see a lot of CTs now opting to go for the full eco instead of just going for the forced buy here. For the side of Entropiq, it's going to be the Mag 10s and a couple of players, Crad and Nickelback, looking to farm a little bit of money. The rest of them, Galils and 1 AK for Mir.
Yeah, it gives them very little really to play with in this round, but it does bolster up that first buy when it eventually does come in. Plus a team like Big, you're expecting the likes of Searson to get his hand on the AWP as soon as possible, and that's where things can start to get back in favor of Big, so it does make sense. It does mean, though, that Entropiq really should be dialing in their second round, and pretty convincingly so. It's just really a question of who picks up the kills. Is going to be the Mac 10 wielders and put a bit more cash in the bank, or maybe one of these Galils or the aforementioned AK can get in play. They're making their moves though, slowly but surely here, Blair, on towards the A side. There are 3 players here from Big, but honestly, if they can get more than just 1 kill, I'd be amazed.
Fair though. Taking a little bit of damage to the USPs, and we saw a bit of a distraction play from Forrester towards the B bomb side, but still the stack will be in on this A bomb side. 7 seconds though, and here comes the play. And as you said, Vince, this should be an easy mopper for the T's.
Oh yeah, this is just dialing in. It's a formality of a round. They're going to be cleaning it up. They do get 1 kill. Tizian removes the head of Nickelback, but that is all they will be picking up. However, as we mentioned, because of the save, here comes a purchase.
Yeah, it's still not going to be ideal though, right? Searson doesn't have his weapon of choice. It's going to be M4s all around, unless I'm very much mistaken. He should be going for a rifle, right? No, of course not. It's Searson is the scout. What was he thinking, Vince?
Well, that's the thing. If he'd got a kill with the USP, then he could have very well picked up the AWP. He'd had just enough money. But he is so good with a scout, though, and this is something else to watch out for when Dust 2 does come around the corner. He is going to be a monster.
Absolutely. If there's one player on the planet who I would not blame for going for the scout, it would be Searson. But up close, this is so uncomfortable. If he escapes, it's going to be huge. I think he just might have pulled off the great escape. That is unreasonable. Searson is so lucky to be alive here. And now, with a scout in hand, he can play the distance, despite the fact they have lost Tapson early on. And bear in mind, this is the bonus round coming from Entropiq, right? They had those, they had one of the Mag 10 saved from the previous round, which will immediately be upgraded to the M4A1 in the hands of Elian. So already, good start here for Entropiq, 2-0, and already a man up in round number 3. You can see them slowly gravitating back towards its B bomb site, though. You can see the C4 heading its way over there. And for the side of Big, one player towards short, and Favin, this is a one-and-done spot. And looking at the amount of utility still in possession here for Entropiq, he will be blinded when they go for the hit.
Oh yeah, I think so. They're trying to get aggressive instead with the A4. Here come the flashes and the Molotovs, forcing away some of these defenders, and it puts more pressure on Tizian back to the wall, but he comes out, and Crad was still watching Connector. And with this life staying in position on Tizian, it leaves them in such an awkward spot for the engage, but they've done it, and it's that man Mia. The aggression that we were talking about, the X-Factor player has stood tall and delivered, and that's allowed Entropiq not just the bomb plant, but the round on top of it. A beautiful round from Mia.
That is so clean from Mir, and I think I like the re-aggression towards short from Big, right? They had the information. All they had to do was hold on to that crossfire, but Mir just absolutely shreds it apart. And even getting the final kill as well. And if this guy starts to come alive, Vince, things could get very interesting here. Because, again, this matchup is very, very 50-50, right? Big are just too inconsistent for anyone to be like, yeah, they should be the favorites. But great stuff there from Entropiq. A couple of mistakes as well from Big, right? Losing to Tizian, sorry, it was Tapson, I believe, early on towards the mid position. And honestly, Searson was very, very fortunate to even stay alive. But even though he stayed alive, there was not much he could do. Clean stuff coming in from Entropiq. Nickelback with the Mag 10. He knows it's going to be just the pistols coming out for the side of Big once more. And this should be round number 4 on the board here for the CIS side.
Yeah, some little bits and pieces will be getting picked up. Tabson's already upgraded his pistol, some grenades alongside it. And as you said, Big off to a pretty brutal start. And I mean, although they have got some kills in these previous rounds, the fact that Mia just waltzes onto the site and gets 3 entries and makes it look so easy in the process, that's going to be a distant alarm bell that rings for Big. It's still early days, of course, and this is the choice of Entropiq. But if they continue to falter and flub their lines, this can get out of control really quickly, especially when you consider as well, Blair, in that last round, Tizian had such a good position on the short side, and they still won from there. Absolutely.
That's the mirror factor, so to speak, right? We've seen how absolutely ruthless he used to be once upon a time. Although, that being said, you know, after the entire benching situation, I had my questions. I was like, all right, is he going to be coming back with that old form? Would he have tapered off a little bit? Would he be even more deadly? Right now is looking pretty sharp indeed. Right now, money is looking pretty solid as well for the majority, at least, yeah, for a majority of members here for the side of Entropiq. And this is round number 4, mind you, Vince, right? So we have 3 players around the $4,500 mark. Crad and Nickelback, the only 2 players are kind of low, but that's okay. And here it comes. The Mag 10 going to be leading the charge. Searson is all alone. He might call for back at this moment to spot someone, but they're just going to creep on in, and he should be dead to rights here. He will be caught out in the open. Bomb site taken over, and that should be a very, very comfortable round for Entropiq.
Yeah, kind of falling into place as we expected. Passes a bullet into the head of Nickelback, but it is traded back instantly. Although the bomb hasn't been planted as of yet, it's just could get overwhelmed, and he's gone down to the hands of Crimbo, but Elian is there to pick up the pieces. And Fabian's chances are looking pretty grim. 4-0 start. Entropiq will be up against the bye, but this has been a solid start so far.
Absolutely. And sure, they lose a couple of players, right? But because of how many, because of the fact that they haven't really suffered too many casualties thus far, the money is very, very solid indeed. Even the AWP coming out here on the T side here, Elian. We've seen this guy pull off some pretty nasty stuff with the AWP for his team, and now for Big, it's going to be the first full-fledged buy. Searson with his weapon of choice as well, and he right now is yet to get off the mark. Not sure if he spot the first player there, but doesn't stick on around. He's got backup nearby, the form of Tapson, but Tapson is isolated, and there is a window in which he could be isolated and taken down. Searson, the repositioning towards long, and looking at Entropiq's posturing right now, it could be a play coming in towards a long position.
Slowing it down, but it's Forrester again through the smoke. Will capitalize. Tizian has been sent packing. That was over on the B side of the map. That was through Monster. What a pick for Big to lose once again. And although they have a bit of short control, once that smoke clears on Monster, one of these two short players is going to have to watch their back, or they'll send in a third player to watch this instead. This leaves A very vulnerable for the time being.
Absolutely, and that is something that Entropiq are very cognizant of, right? We have Tapson, buys Lonesome, but the one thing going the way of Big is the fact that they have short control. They have a player there, I do believe that is Favin, and as long as he's going to stick on around and his time does start to expire, that could be the call of the rotation to take place. For the time being, though, it is all on Tapson. And Entropiq, they're opting to group up and go for this A hit. They have the read. They know it is going to be the rotation towards B. They know the defense might be weak towards this A bomb site. And with 28 seconds on the clock, they need to make a bit of haste.
This could play into Tapson. HE tossed in, will be doing damage. Decent chunk onto Krad. Slows it down. Now the cavalry beginning to stampede its way up onto the A site. They still haven't managed to burst out just yet, and Tapson, with 2 huge kills, is locking it down single-handedly. He should have bought up enough time for his teammates to pick up their pieces, and they'll do just that. A valiant, heroic effort from Tapson, and those 2 kills secure their first round.
Oh, that was so huge from Tapson there. If he doesn't get a second kill, I could see the defense just falling apart on the A bomb side, but great transfer coming in, them for A1. Again, this is, oh, fancy.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like this. That is cool. There we go. That's the wall. That's the kill through the smoke. This is great from Tapson though, right? He knows the player coming up long. He knows he can't go for the wide swing. The first duel won it immediately, pivoting towards Mir. And Mir, I can't even blame him. He almost timed that to perfection, but Tapson so very sharp with the A1. And bear in mind, this is being played on the new patch, Vince. So this is the new M4A1 in play, and there's a lot of questions about this. People are like, are we going to be seeing more A4s coming to play? But right now, it looks like everyone's still very content working with the A1. Tizian needs to be careful. Is so fortunate to peel back Forrester, not expecting him to be inside of the smoke. So early man advantage here for the side of Big.
And that shows how confident Tizian is, because keep in mind, he died through the smoke in a previous round, the double stack, double peak, and Crimbo doubles up. Big. A cracking start to the round, looking way more confident and solid in this one. The bomb spilled out just outside of Monster, and the CTs do have eyes on this. So it's looking good for Big to double up and half the deficit. Entropiq, though, still have Krad, still have opportunity to do a bit more damage, and Crimbo may go down, but his life is avenged by Tizian, and Big do get their second. There's still a bit of money, though, in the bank of Entropiq.
Great early aggression, right? This is something we saw from Big in the pistol round as well, where they got the first 2 opening picks, but it was Krad who was able to bring it back. But this is great stuff, you know, peering together, great spacing as well, and yeah, Crimbo, as you pointed out there, Vince. Multi-kills, completely shutting it down. And we saw the opening pick as well coming from Sirson, right? Big are looking to take these early duels on the extremities of the map. That is going to net them the second round, and they're aware that Entropiq's money now, it's not looking that great. They still have a few pistols to work with. Tech 9s, Deagles, and the one AK-47 in the hands of Forrester. One smoke, though, to work with, as we have Big with a bit of a switch up in their positioning. There are 3 players now playing towards A, and looking at how deep Crimbo is towards the towards the playground position, that's giving them so much of information to work with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It allows them to tighten the noose over on the B side of the map. It's allowing them to trade away some positions. They also have connector controlled, so no reason for any players to be on long on the A side. This is such a constrictive formation that Big have in play, but Entropiq still have a little bit of firepower up their sleeve. And with Crimbo only having an MP9, if he falls down, a lot of the positions may very well be forced to rotate instantly. But because he's in this forward position, he's hearing footsteps, and now he's going to get the upper hand. Nickelback goes in first, spray down. 2 kills go the way of Crimbo, and that should be good enough.
It's a bomb spotted as well. So now what do Entropiq do? Are they going to pivot back towards the beat? Looks like that's the answer. As for the side of Big, even though they have a player towards bathrooms, they will have to send one back. That is Sirson with the op towards the long position. So if they're able to somehow get the opening pick here towards the B bomb site, this could still potentially be in the realms of possibility for Entropiq.
Yeah, this round's not done just yet. It's getting close, though. The curtain is coming down. Can it be stopped, though, and stagnated? No, Searson at range with the AWP puts it to use. And Elian, who has a ton of opportunities, not able to take any of them. So Big lose Crimbo, but he only had an MP9, and they have secured their 3rd round in a row.
And more importantly, right, they've been winning these rounds very convincingly as well. So despite the fact Entropiq went on that really hot streak of rounds, Big have not only kind of brought it back, they're just 1 round away from tying things up, but they've also built up a very solid foundation when it comes to the money. So even if they do lose a round, they're in no immediate danger for having to go for, just a very light force buy and whatnot. Great stuff coming up from Searson as well there. But here we go. The buy going to be coming in once more for Entropiq. And once more, it's going to be Elian. The AWP in his hands. A bit more of a slower approach. They know that Big have been poking and prodding towards a long position, and it's simultaneously taking fights towards the monster area. This time Big are going to be a little bit more tempered in their approach. That being said, though, Tapson, he has been a bit quiet by his very lofty standards, and if Searson falls back, he's going to be isolated.
And Searson may be forced back because of Molotovs being tossed in, but there's the flashbang, and there's the follow-up. He said he's been quiet, and now he comes out with a bang, swinging for 2. His only real play before this was that heroic last stand on the A site when he picked up that double spray and the transfer. But if he gets rolling, he is a terrifying prospect on Entropiq. And considering they started off at 4-0 player, we're starting to get a bit concerned over Big and what their stature was here on Overpass. Man, they've bounced back with a serious bunch of authority, and they're making Entropiq sweat this one. To make matters worse, Searson holds his line in bathrooms, and it may not just be a 4th round, but also a clean sweep for Big, which is going to build up their economy so huge.
Oh, absolutely. That's such a great round. It's such a beautiful flashbang being hurled by Crimbo, right? Like, he's doing everything. We've seen him pretty much single-handedly shut down some of his B-side plays, and that flash was just timed to perfection. They knew Tapson was in a very uncomfortable position. They knew Searson couldn't go for the repeat after he missed his first flick shot there, right? And you could see the incendiary being lobbed in to his captain's position, and the flash timing could not have been better. We know Tapson's more than capable with the rifles, and especially when both their opponents are so very blind, there was absolutely no chance that he was gonna not get those 2 kills. So Big, they tie things up. But more importantly for me, I'm gonna reiterate what I just said there. The fashion in which they've been winning these past few rounds have been very, very cool indeed. We have an average of about, what, $6,000 in 4 of the players. Searson, the AWPer, with an AWP in his hands on 8,400 as well. They are looking very comfortable right now.
Oh yeah, far cry from the first few rounds, and I don't believe that Entropiq have got a bomb plant in these last 4 either. They've been timed out twice. They've just been completely repelled. Additionally, hence the tactical timeout. They're realizing that this has been going awry. And their money situation as well, Blair, is pretty bleak. Forrester saved the AK. He's down to $250. But apart from him, they can't really do much about this. You're expecting maybe some pistols to be picked up. Obviously, they do have max round loss bonus just around the corner. So on the T side, they'll be afforded opportunities to get those AKs and AWPs out if they want them. But what a turnaround.
Looking way more convincing, are Big. And again, it's not just about, one individual popping off. Like, we've seen someone like Searson just completely take control of the game, right? But no, it's been everyone chipping in. Just good synergy overall with the defense. They're doing a very, very solid, proactive defense, right? Being aggressive, just making Entropiq feel uncomfortable and asphyxiated on this T side. It's a far cry. Like, if you're tuning in right now, you're like, yeah, Big's in complete control. This is a far cry from the first few rounds where Entropiq were definitely firmly in the driver's seat. There is still this AK to work with, though, for Forrester. The only problem has been whittled down to 23 HP. Spots the player, that's Tizian, but unfortunately, it doesn't get the kill. Now, I gotta remember, Favin's positioning over here. He's been here so many times, Vince, but he's actually never had the opportunity to get any kills.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, because most of the action has gone through on the monster side. And there's a boost up. Now, they tried to go for the boosting connector, and they flubbed it a few times, so Favin actually heard that and relayed the information to the rest of their teammates, and the rest should be a formality. As Mia was dropped the AK from the low Forrester, but now he has bit the dust for the last time in round 9. CS in the meanwhile puts his AWP to use, but traded back is Tizian from Elian. Keeping this round At least in the realms of possibility. It's unlikely they get anything done, but Forrester has put another headshot in, and suddenly this is getting a little bit tentative. 25 seconds left. Molly is good, but gets extinguished, and now it's down to that man Forrester. The first player to take any damage in this round has to go full circle. Player up in heaven looking to try and remove the head. Takes it down. He's got 15 seconds, and he has a good idea as to where Crimbo currently resides. One bullet onto Forrester could seal the deal, but he clutches it down with 23 HP.
That is so well done by Forrester. Oh, that is sick stuff. 20 seconds he needed to cross. Spots player inside of Heavens and just clean taps coming out there. He could have even gone for the bomb plan behind a pillar. He could have still played out the 1v1, but goes for the duel and just brilliant stuff. And 23 HP, like you said, Vince. Just one bullet in almost any part of his body, he would be done for. Tapson had so many opportunities there, but not a single bullet finds Forrester. And in the end, taking out both Crimbo and Tapson to clutch it up. That's a round Entropiq had no business losing. And a bit of a reminder for Big, you know, they might have gotten a little complacent after those 4 rounds they run in a row.
I think it's a tap on the shoulder as well, that like Entropiq may be down, but never truly out. These guys are very individually skilled. And Forrester, been a bit overshadowed a couple of rounds here. Likes of Mia really pulling their weight. Krad's had a couple of massive entries, but he's up to the task as well if he needs to be. But Searson now locks it down in bathrooms. That's the bomb that gets spilled down additionally. And Searson can moonwalk his way out of the smoke into bathrooms, and he is scot-free. Elian, though, will return the favor. But Tizian's right there again. Just a death by 1,000 paper cuts mentality, hit and run. Guerrilla warfare coming in for Big, and it's another one onto Krad. Sent mass shot, and the round will be put in its place, and Big will be thinking that's how the last round should have gone too, so maybe making amends for that previous mistake.
Yeah, and Searson, just great stuff coming out from him, but even if he got taken down Big, they weren't just content playing the default. We saw the wraparound coming in from Connector as well, and that's something which has actually worked out in Big's favor quite a lot of times, just having that short control, right? Even if they don't get any kills from that position, there's so much information being gleaned. And the flank, even if Searson hadn't hit that 3rd shot, Krad was definitely, his days were numbered. And with that, alright, Elian with the op, the rest of them pistols all around. And aggression coming out from the CTs. Ooh, this could get punished. This could be very heavily punished by the side of Entropiq, and they're looking to hold W. You gotta remember, there is that AWP in play. That's just unreasonable from Tizian.
Oh, Nickelback can't catch a break, can he? We've seen so many smoke shots as well in this game. There is a boost up over, but Tizian just wiggles his way out of Monster, and he will be okay. It's that constant aggression, though, Blair, that you've talked about a couple of times here, especially on the short B side. It's like Big are always moving. They're always trying to do something slightly different. Pull the punch, bit of misdirection, bit of mischief. And it's been a huge reason as to why they've picked up so many of these rounds. He's seeing the ankles, he's seeing the feet as they dart across. And Crimbo will get in for the spray. Fabian in the meanwhile, though, did he just wallbang? Krad through the wooden panel in the head.
It's so unreasonable. I really liked what, well, I mean, that particular boost from Big, but they're also aware of Krad coming out from Connector, right? And Krad trying to catch the player boosted up the moment his teammate got taken down, but Fabian there to bodyguard his teammate. And that's the thing, like, sure, you know, it's still a very close affair, 5-5, but I'm liking what Big are bringing out here. And even the one round they lost just a couple of rounds prior came down to the heroics, came down to the clutch ability of the individuals from Entropiq. So the op should be saved here. Don't really expect Elian to attempt this 1 versus 5, so just going to hold on to the Zoom banger, but that's going to be yet another round for the side of Big. 6-5 here. For those who are just tuning in, this was 4-0 for Entropiq. And look, I'm not someone who wants to dwell on the past, right? But if you go back to the first round, it came down to a clutch for Entropiq in the pistol round. A couple of rounds they won. It was just the pistols for the side of Big, right? Overall, when it comes to the rifle rounds, apart from that one slip up in the 1v2 against Forrester, Big have clearly looked like the better team here on the defensive side.
Oh, absolutely. And just to echo that as well, one of the, I think it was round 2 or 3. It was round 3, actually, because that was the first rifle round Big picked up. That was the round where Mia just walked out and got 3 ridiculous entry frags. So it feels like when Entropiq are winning rounds, it's down to these individual Herculean efforts, whether it be Forrester, whether it be Mia. And when Big are winning rounds, it seems comfortable. It seems clear-cut, but they've lost Searson. Although he did connect the shot onto Crad, he's down to 2 HP and gets traded out. And that will put Tabs on the back foot. Now, Crad's been finalized from the HE of Favon, but he gets traded as well. And Entropiq maintain their player advantage.
There's just one player now defending towards the A-bomb side. It's going to be Tabs. The moment he gets found out here, that A-bomb side's open for business, and they should be just holding W right now. They're just going to be legging it, and that's the opportunity for Tizian to sneak on in from behind. But there is a player watching. Is he going to spot Fat Tizian is the question. I think he just walked on pass. There is a world here that Tizian can shut this one down. Mir, ready and waiting. Tizian's aware as well. The wide swing. Mir is so aware. And I'm quite sure his teammate towards the monster, I do believe that was Forrester, might have seen a pixel.
Yeah, that pixel could have made all the difference because it looked like they would just be hitting A really quick. As you said, hold that W. Molotov isn't great, though. That's not going to stop Crimbo from peeking this. And will that lull him to a false sense of security? No. They dot their I's, they cross their T's, they flash in with the peek on Elian. And Entropiq will tie us up again. 6-6 the score.
Great stuff. Just great stuff coming out there from Entropiq, especially the moment you get those opening duels. They're able to pressure Big, and Tapson's position there was so pivotal. Like the moment he gets taken down there and looking at his positioning, they know that A-bomb side is going to be kind of pretty much empty, but they slow things down. They know Big like going for this. Tizian likes going for the late connector flank, and Mir able to take him down. Just great awareness, good read from Entropiq, but Tapson will find his vengeance. Forrester will fall, and there's no one nearby to trade, because Entropiq were going for a much faster B take, but remember getting taken down. Are they just going to go for the full commit? That's the question. It looks like they are.
Yeah, flash out, but it actually does more damage to the T's than good. It's actually stalled them a little bit. Now the smokes have been put into place. Favon can try and watch around the side of this. Flashbang up and over, but it's Alien that gets the pick for Entropiq, and they pull the plug. Because of how aggressive the start of this round was, they got plenty of time still on the clock. They don't have to overcook this. Flash is good, but Mia hasn't finished this one off just yet. He's going to get swung in from Favon, who runs out of bullets Mia anyway. A nightmare spray. And now Big get the player advantage.
Oh, that's so ugly, but now they have to pivot back. And with Big having all the information, and look at how deep Crimbo is. You can catch him off guard. There's no way to expect him to push him this deep here. And there we go. Oh, he almost finds both Vince. But they somehow stay alive at a combined HP of 21. Crimbo's going to be seeding after that. It's still a 3v3, but still advantage for Big. Look at how low Crad and Nickelback are. Just one solitary nade. A strong gust to win, and they're both going to fall, but now they're going to grouping up, heading towards his A-bomb side. The problem is, Vince, they're going to be going for the contact play here. They don't want to give it away, and they're going to be walking to 2 CTs lying in wait. And with 20 seconds, they need to make a move.
Yeah, they have to. They're so worried, though. They're so scared. Searson gets baited out, but it's a bait and switch. Tizian springs the trap, and this looks like it's a done deal. Entropiq are going to have to save again. How many times has this been now? And Crad gets fragged as he tries to retreat. Nickelback on the aforementioned 2. Gonna have to hold the line here. Good shot onto Tizian, should keep himself alive and the AWP in play. But Big snatching this away, and yeah, it was Crimbo again. So much damage, and it was confirmed as well, Blair. He would have seen that a dink came through. He would have known that both those players were low, and that was a big reason as to why the Germans were able to just sit in position and wait.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why they were hunting down both the players as well, right? Nickelback, if he didn't land that shot, that would have been every single gun getting taken away here. But for Entropiq, they will still be able to eke out a pretty solid buy here. AK's Galil and the AWP still very much in place here. So now going to be playing from Party. He's got his teammate coming up, Crimbo, towards long. And Crimbo has just been so impactful. Flashbang. But they're just going to be swinging on in. Searson, though, they're trying to hound him. He's trapped in the corner. But the flashbang is brilliant from his captain. And Crimbo and Searson, the 1-2-1 combo. And just like that, Vince, 1 minute and 23 seconds on the clock. And the round's pretty much done. Where did it even go? Look at where the CTs are. Look at a minimap. There's a player pushing up T-spawn. There's one towards Party. And there's one on top of Connector. There is nowhere for the final 2 members to head towards. And it's unless they get a kill. Which they will. But still not looking good.
That's really scrappy from Favon. Like, really, he should be doing better. He did 27 HP in damage through the wall there. Unfortunate, but this is where that flank comes in, and Tizian with the A4 puts it to use. Crad's been already nullified, and there's the double spray. Big pick up an 8th, and it just makes me wonder as well here, Blair. What if Entropiq didn't take the pistol? This would be such a dominant half for Big. The way they've played this CT side once they got stabilized has been honestly pretty sensational.
And yeah, absolutely. The one rifle round for Entropiq, one of them was kind of convincing, but apart from that, the other one was won. The round number 5 for them was won by that clutch as well, right from Forrester. Which, in all honesty, that was Big kind of messing things up a little bit. So Big looking very solid, and just that consistent sheer aggression. But here we go, final round. It could just be the classic rush B, and the flash is good. Everyone's fine. How does Tizian find 2? I can't. How does he find 2?
You can see him covering his eyes. Like, I think those 3 players were in a full snowstorm, like in a blizzard, just fully flashed for about 5 seconds. And once the dust webs were just covered off, double spray. I'd love to have seen that from his perspective. Elian, though, is going to try his best, his damnedest to get this one back underway. It would have to be a 1 versus 5, though, and on 18 HP. Like, surely this is not possible. Have to be a massive blunder from Big for him to clutch this one out at this stage. And there is Tabson. 9-6 going to be the halftime score. And Big, all things considered, they have looked pretty damn solid on this CT half.
Yeah, but look, here's the thing, right? Doesn't matter how you win it as long as you win those rounds, right? So here we go. Okay, Tizian, let's see how... Okay. Bro, how are you standing? Like, okay, firstly, that spray transfer, the second guy, great stuff, but still, how lucky can you get? If I'm Entropiq, though, Vince, like, look, from obviously, Big really looks solid here on the CD side, but still, for Entropiq, 6 rounds on the T side on the map pick, you'll take it. You're still feeling very comfortable. You still have quite a number of rounds to work with as they head on to the on their defensive side. That's what we're going to be seeing right now. The second half will take place here. Krat with the dualies. You'll love to see it. I'm a big fan.
I think I counted 3 full flashbangs at Tizian 8 there on his approach to Monster, by the way. Like, that was a good 4 or 5 seconds of just pure blindness. So the fact he's able to get 2 is a bit of a miracle play. As you can see the players here all chilling. Tabson there on your screen, looking very relaxed.
It's got a fan on as well. It's a bit warm nowadays.
There's like a heat wave, I think, going around right now in Europe. So I think some of my Central European friends said it was like 30+ degrees. So it's probably pretty grim in there without the fan, I'd imagine.
Yeah, 30+ in my part of the world. It's called normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's a heat wave. I'm like, how bad is this? 31. I'm like, Jesus, shut up. Anyway, but then again, I bitch and moan about, when it's like goes below 10 degrees. I'm like, it's so cold, and you're like, what are you talking about?
It's just a normal day here. Yeah, this is perfect weather.
We do have a little bit of a tech timeout here. Hopefully, should get resolved very, very quickly. But this is a pretty interesting tournament, right? Like, this is coming off, we had the Major, then we had Blast, right? And then we, of course, had Dallas as well. So we had some big events take place. And now, heading into IEM Cologne, we have a number of teams over here. I think we have, like, 5 teams from the top 10 as well in HLTV rankings. Quite a number of interesting teams. Obviously, there's some big dogs. You have the likes of FaZe, for example, or even Ents. But then you have a number of teams who will be playing in the Cologne play-in as well. So it's going to be, I feel like, testing grounds for some of them to see where they stand, so to speak, right? And for a few other teams, this is a great opportunity for them to kind of get a bit more practice in against some of the top dogs before Cologne. Or if they're not playing Cologne, at least before the player break, for example.
Yeah, it was like Kassad said on the desk there, that this is a legit big tournament, 250k. A lot of the heavy hitters, the big dogs, taking shape and a real test of metal. Meanwhile, though, we are live into the second half. Big now on the T side, looking to try and take some aggression. And as you mentioned, we have 2 Julies picked up on the CT side of things. Elian had that best spawn to go and peek middle. He did get a bit of information, but now Big taking the initiative, pushing around on the long side. This is very one-dimensional, though. They're not sure if they're getting flanked. Let's see how they look to try and pincer and pivot in on this A side of the map.
Entropiq's not going to be expecting this, Vince. Like, there is a window, unless they make their way inside of bathrooms. But surely Entropiq at one moment, at some point, they need to realize that Long's been open for quite a while. But they haven't seen anyone in that direction either. You can see the remaining members of Big slowly falling back. Elian, it's all about timing. They can hear the footsteps can Big, but Elian's making so much noise. The smoke's a giveaway, though. They know the play's going to be coming in from Long, but you got to remember there's a player inside of bathrooms as well, as Elian's going to find one, but he's going to be immediately traded by Faden.
Really nice formation set up there from Faven, so he could just get that backstab in. He needs to go above and beyond. It's the Dualies and it's Mia that perforates his head. Still plenty of bullets in the magazine. 3 play 4, but it is a post plant, and now Searson has to try and hold the line. Here's the other Julie. That's to be backed up by Forrester. 1-4 trade will not be doing Big any favors at all, and now Crimbo stuck in 2 awkward positions. P250. Oh, what a shot onto Mia! And he's pretty much finalized this round, or has he? Nickelback still in with a chance, but he gets dinked down to 10 HP. Takes the head of Tizian. It's gonna be close as he doesn't have a kit, but he may very well have this one. Gonna come down to the line, and I believe he has it. The clutch through from Tizian, just in the nick of time. But my God, that flick from Crimbo was disgusting.
What did we just witness? What was that flick? I'm sorry, I can't even talk about a round. Bro, that was slowed down. That was fast, even when it was slowed down. I need the replay again, Vince. That was just absolute filth. Oh. Again, the pistol round just being stolen away. Okay, here we go. This is just obscene. That's just obscene. Just get out of here. What was that?
Outrageous reaction speed, but the aim on top of it as well. And they still lost the round, Blair. That's got to sting. However, Big, because of the post plant, they're in for assault rifles. They've got a scout, they've got a deagle, and Mia crushes the head of Tizian, takes connector control, but he's pretty much on an island by himself. Crad gets aggressive, big kill. Very important frag. Big on the back foot already in a 3-on-5.
Tapson being patient, the clotheslines mirror. Elian needs backup. He needs backup stat, and he will be spotted. Able to somehow still get the tag onto Crimbo and the follow-up despite being blinded. That is huge, and he's seen Searson as well, but Searson with a scout, very deadly, but Elian showing how much more deadly he can be, going for the jumping scout as well, and Searson will find the kill eventually, but a trade is instantaneous. And Entropiq, they've won both the pistols now, Vince. Remember, when the first half, they won 4 in a row. If they can replicate here on the CD side, things can get very interesting. For Big, that was the force buy coming in. So now just the pistols, and this could be Farm City for Elian. You can see the MP9 coming out already early on, is looking to make a bit of cash. He's going to get that AWP out to play very early on.
Beautiful scouting. Searson also picked one up in that round. My concern here, though, Blair, is that we saw Entropiq get off to a cracking start in the first half, and then Big took the initiative with a very aggressive setup on the CTs. This is going to be a bloodbath. Forrester, triple spray, and damage done to Tizian, albeit down on Deagles. Not really much of a hope. My concern here, though, Blair, is that now that Big are on the T side and they have to really try and dictate the pace of these rounds, are they going to be able to have that same kind of comeback as we saw in the first half?
Remains to be seen, right? T-side overpass, though, it's not as easy, Vince. It's not as easy. And Entropiq have shown in the past, even though Entropiq are a team they've disappointed me in the past. I really feel like they're a team, before the RMR, where I saw them play and I was like, all right, these guys are, they seem to have what it takes. They have Hooch as well behind them, legend in the scene. And they just disappointed me too many times to really have too much of faith in them. But with Mirror coming in, you don't know, right? Like, this could be the catalyst that his team needed to elevate themselves, because I do believe they've stagnated for quite a while. But right now, I think they've done what's needed to get the win here in map number 1, right? They won both the pistols, they have 6 rounds on the T side, and this is great. Perfectly timed flash from Crad and Forrester. He's going to pluck Faven's head clean off his shoulders.
The bird's eye view from Connector. Tizian wishes he had that kind of information at this point, but instead he's going to focus his attention up to the top of corner. He comes out second best. That was an MP9 against an AK, and he still got rocked. Entropiq, effectively on a bonus on a couple of these players, have now traded up to an AK. They still got that MP9, but they can trade it as well. This has been a horrendous round for Big.
Absolutely. It's going to require some heroics from the side of Crimbo, though. He's shown what he could do, but the off angle behind the sandbags, he wasn't expecting that. And he was all alone as well. There's no one nearby. No one nearby to trade instantly. Now Tapson and Searson left, and this is not looking good at all. 40 seconds, still have time to work with, but look at flank taking place. Tapson does find Forrester. And I did see Searson just turn around. Is he aware? There's no way. No way Searson is expecting Elian. There we go. Up close. If he hits a flick, I would have just shut off my stream, honestly. But Tapson left alone. 20 seconds is nothing you can do. And Entropiq, they will take the lead, and they're even going to try and hunt him down.
Oh yeah, they've got money to burn right now. Speaking of which, it's a barbecue in Connector. tabseN has to douse the flames down with the smoke, but now they know exactly where he is. And he also realizes that Molotov is going to clear out soon. It's going to be after time. They're going to be pushing him right now. They're going to spray around this corner and they take him. So no money in the bank for tabseN, $750 remaining. And keep in mind how many AK-47s now Entropiq have. They got 3, and they also got a first-class delivery from cyeSN with the AWP on Elian. He picked up the MP9, he took down 2 players, and Entropiq, their money has just burst so hard. Big are in real trouble on this half.
Oh, absolutely. And with tabseN's money being at 750, that's some questions, right? They would have gone for the pistols buy anyway. But now, even when they will have money for the rifles, tabseN's still going to be in a bit of a pickle. You can see cyeSN going for the full eco. He wanted AWP in his hand at the earliest opportunity. Perfectly timed nade there for Forrester to take care of 2 of the players. And now Elian aware. He's like, all right, no eyes towards long for a while. Let's have a fun time here. I should get the kill double scoped in. And nice, tasty little flick on the tabseN.
Yeah, this round really should have been going fairly comfortably to Entropiq. The concerning sign here for Big, though, is that they're unable to take any of the kills down, so the already solid economy is just going to be bolstered significantly, and it is going to be a clean sweep round. Yes, there's a buy coming up, but Entropiq, you look at some of their bank balances right now, they're accounting with a huge smile on his face. $10,000 on Nickelback, just shy of 10k on Mia, Elian 8.6k. The lowest amount of money they have after a rebuy is 6.2k. Like, Entropiq are just swimming in dollars.
And this is 5 rounds in. 5 rounds in. That's just so unreasonable. So for the side of Big, right, it's not about just stringing a few rounds together right now, but it's also trying to break the economy. Because Entropiq are going to keep buying and buying and buying and not make life comfortable at all for the side of Big. Early tentative shot getting taken, but the Molotov will force Elian to a different position. Barely taking any damage though, as he will reposition himself towards long. Big being very slow, very tentative. You have no one lurking towards Monster. No one towards outside of the B bomb side. Now, if Entropiq are feeling adventurous, they could try and wrest control of this, and that's so much information being gained, and that could allow them to rotate a few players back as Elian towards the long, finding a player, and the 2-man hold towards short, doing quite a bit of damage. But faveN at least finds mirrors. That's some consolation, but they still don't have much to work with. I say that faveN with a wild spray, able to find Nickelback.
Not sure what happened there from Nickelback. If maybe a bit of a lapse in communication, or was out in a very awkward position, basically gave his life away for free. 3-play-3 now. There's still enough time on the clock for Big to rummage together a rotation, forces Elian on the back foot with the AWP, but it seems like with connector control, they control the heart of the map, and they can decide to rotate back on B if they should choose. And with 2 players here, and a bit of early intel as well from Krad, that may not be the wisest of decisions, because now Krad can hold the line with Forrester, who has the close angle. They're going to bait in. There's a team kill from cyeSN. Puts a bullet in the back of his teammate's head. However, they're still getting entries, but it now comes down with 17 seconds to cyeSN to try and pick up the mantle again, and Krad will suppress him. Entropiq, yet another round on the board, and Big's woes continue.
There was a window there, Vince. There was a window for Big to somehow crack it open, but oh no. Oh, that's a yikes there. So unfortunate. Oh, this is just brutal. I just want to see.
Yeah, you can't really blame cyeSN for that, honestly. You have to take the shot.
Can't really blame him. Well, yeah, like he had the shot, and then Crimbo just pops his head. As we have the aggression coming up from Entropiq. We spoke about the that constrictive CD side. I'll get back to that later on. Big. They have just cracked this A defense real quickly. Molotov as well for Dumpster. And faveN has an AWP, but instant smoke coming in from Nickelback. And they're aware. They're aware there's a player in the corner here. But it is going to be the M4A1 to come out on top here. And Nickelback's going to shut this one down. There was a window. There was a moment where Big could potentially have maybe gotten the bomb down, Vince. But immediately, instantly gets swept aside. 13-9 now for Entropiq. This has been flawless on a CT side for the CIS team.
Exactly, 9-6 to 13-9. That is 7 CT rounds without retaliation. And keep in mind, the only bomb plant that Big got was in the pistol round. Since then, they have been comprehensively thwarted away and swatted away from these bomb sites. This has looked so comfortable for Entropiq. It's kind of like what we were saying about Big once they stabilized on their CT side. Well, Entropiq aren't going for these outrageous aggressive plays. They're not really dictating the pace too much. They've just been rock solid with their crossfires.
It's been a wall, Vince. Spaven. Let's try and self-flash his way in. Nice flashbang to eke out to tease out the shot from Elian. Entropiq this time, no control to its connector, right? And that's, and you can see how Big are being so methodical, so very slow, clearing out connector, buying quite a bit of time for the side of Entropiq. Not sure if Big going to be expecting to switch through. 2 players towards long, no one in the A bomb site. But eventually, one of the players from B will have to peel away taps, and he might just be walking to his death. But no, Nickelback, he gets clotheslined. But look at where this player is, all the way towards long. Mir, there's no way they're expecting him, but Tizian seems to be aware. Oh, this is genius from Mir.
I love it. He's waiting for that second player to come out. It also allows him to get up closer as well. Once he takes the kill, he's going to be closer to the A side, relaying the information to his teammates. This is such an intelligent play, and there's no reason that Tapson would turn around. Why would he ever turn around in this position right now? Mia is following him in, sussing out this round. Forrester with the frag, and now Mia with the round in the palm of his hand is going to snatch the life away of Big. Those 2 kills should be enough. Bomb spilled down, 20 seconds, 3 players already up close. This is all the beauty of the information, the patience proving to be a virtue in the hands of Mia, and Entropiq continue that flawless CT side.
How many times have we seen a player like that just fall apart, Vince, right? They trigger discipline and then the player just randomly turns around. But this was played to absolute perfection by Mir. Just brilliantly done. He's like you said, he was conveying all the information. And even Forrester, he gets the first kill. He doesn't stick around for the fight because he knows his teammate's there. The contingency plan called Mir was there for Forrester to drop on down. He gets a 2K, and as you said, in the 2v3 situation, they had no idea where the remaining CTs were coming in from. There was no time remaining to work with as well. They needed to get the bomb down, and Entropiq, they are making it look clean. They're making it look easy. They're making it look so... Big's T-side just looks so toothless right now. Not just individually, but like overall, they're not getting any headway in whatsoever. You go back to the first half, Vince, you saw Entropiq steal a few rounds away in the T-side with some of the clutches. We're not seeing any clutches from Big right now.
Yeah, none of the individuals really popping off. We haven't seen any like huge moments. Forrester, in the meanwhile, trying to dart past the smoke, is punished. One of the first times you've seen Big get a comfortable and clean entry frag. So hopefully, from their perspective, they can actually convert this one. Mere spoilt for choice, gets one, but traded out instantly afterwards. So Big maintain the player advantage, force away Entropiq, but they need to hold on to this one. Faven, good spray. Crad goes down on Monster. Surely, this is their time to break the curse of this T-half.
Nickelback, though. Doesn't stick around. Ooh, so lucky to be alive. The scout. He's gonna go for the repick, the absolute madman. And now it's all on Elliot. He knows where the second player is as well. Oh, this is just palsy from Elliot. Just goes running in, looking. I like that attempt though. He's like, if Krimer's gonna be stuck inside a position, he's gonna have the headshot. The pixel advantage, right? When he's head popping out, which is be so hard for Elliot to win that duel too. He just goes on in, looking to land the fast scope and the no scope, but. Big finally getting a few openings going their way. Is it going to be enough, Vince? That's the question here, right? The first round on the CT side. And we spoke about the money for Entropiq, and you can see the buy comes out. Solid buy. AWP in the hands of Crad will be dropped for Elian, and they still have oodles of money to work with. And for Big, it's their first step of many if they want to make things a bit more competitive here in the first map. Those of you just tuning in, you can take a look at the maps as well. We have Dust 2 coming up next. That is a pick coming in from Big. This one is Entropiq's, and it's showing why they picked this.
Oh yeah, they have been in fine form. We can say for Big, though, is that these guys have been here many a time in the past. When you have players like Tabson, he's had many laps of Counter-Strike over the years, many comebacks. He is no stranger to grinding out the win. Nickelback, though, takes down Faven first off. Tabson trying to explode outside of middle, and Elian decides this position is too hot to handle. He backs away, has Mir there with him. Trade 1-for-1 may not be good enough, especially as Mir's perched up in the perfect position to nullify Crimbo. 2 players remain, the bomb spilled, can't be picked back up again. But they're just running out of manpower here, Blair. They got plenty of time, but they don't have enough men, really, to make a real go of this round unless they get gifted a couple of kills.
Tizian biding his time while Searson's going to go for the play. There's no one to be bomb set apart from the one player perched on towards the sandbags, and that is Krad. It's going to be an op versus op. Searson, is he going to clear the angle? He will spot the barrel. There you have it. There's a shot, and now he knows. He knows the B bomb site is open for business, but still paranoid. There could be a player waiting towards connector, which is surprising because he didn't just kill the player who was looking towards short. And Searson's going to continue to hold W. He's looking to take matters into his own hands. Scope's going to come in. They've heard this. They've heard this. They know where he is. Oh, it's going to be caught up with a nade in his hand, but that's going to buy time for Tizian to at least get the bomb down. Vince with 32 HP in a 1v3. It's going to require a bit of a miracle.
Tizian was stuck in bathrooms. That's why Searson went for the interference play, but he's hoping he'd get at least one more kill before he went down, but he's giving Tizian a chance. 32 HP to his name. May get the first frag onto Nickelback, but it's all about what can he do afterwards. And that's not even a certainty either. Frag won't be forthcoming. And Entropiq successfully retake the site. You could see what they were looking for. It nearly worked out, but Searson needed another one. The timing was so unfortunate, though. Whichever way you spin it, Entropiq have 5 map points.
It's a scope, Vince. It was a scope that gave it away. They weren't expecting him to be so up close, right? They were even going in for the boost. But he just scopes in, and the moment they know where he is, they just swing out wide. There's nothing. And yeah, he even gets caught with the nade in his hand, right? The timing was just rough. You can see him just jumping out, Nickelback and Forrester together. And if Searson just gone on in and maybe gone for, I don't know, like a no scope or a fast scope, it could have made things a little bit more. He would have been traded instantly, but at least that would have made that 1v2 a little bit more within the realms of possibility for Faven. But it is going to be map point for Entropiq. They've dropped only 1 round here on their CT side. And for Big, they've just been left scrambling for answers.
Yeah, they've just never looked comfortable or really in the second half. And you got to give a lot of credit to Entropiq, but at the same time, Big, there's no way to positively spin this, Blair. They have been seriously struggling. Because he does 2 up next. Mirage, if we need it as a decider. Krad misses his shot. There was a flashbang there to propagate the short push. Connector control once again, though, goes the way of Entropiq. Some aggression, but Tizian punishes Mia for the over-engagement. And now Ellie gets shut down in the back. Not sure what happened there. Tabson seemed to push past him, and he had no idea as to where his position was. So maybe Big, they have another chapter to write in this overpass leaflet yet. Crimbo with the angle should be getting this frag onto Nickelback with that perfect crosshair placement. And the bomb is being planted over on the A side of the map. Another frag from Crimbo. Starting to show what he can deliver. 22 kills to his name. Could be a 23rd if Krad slow peeks into his crosshair. But he's pulled out a flashbang, and that will be his life deemed forfeit. They want to try and take this AWP away from Krad, but even if he was to fall, there's plenty of funds left for Entropiq. Whereas on the other side of the thing, this could get really dangerous really quick. Big don't have much funds to play with. This has now got way too costly, and Krad may not be done just yet. That smoke's about to clear. Player to his left-hand side. Also has Searson down on the monster. He tries to pull away. Takes down Favren as well. Big have been destroyed. Yes, they win the round, but they lose 4 players, and have a look at their money situation now.
Oh, that is... that's so painful. They kept everyone alive, and it was the 1v5, a 1 versus 5, and they lose 4. And sure they'll have the AKs. They won't have utility. Taps and Tizian, they're debating, okay, do we go for Galil? Now they have to compromise. Great stuff from Krad, though, right? Like, you're expecting Elian to be wielding the AWP, but Krad, some really cool stuff coming out. Despite, sure, it was in a losing effort. He was just going for the save, but still, some great shooting coming out here. But Big will still hold on, Vince. They're going to go for just the AKs and no utility. Just running on and dry. A TK in play as well as the trades are back and forth. It's a 3 versus 3.
Bruh, 2 TK so far on this half on the side of Big. It was a bit scrappy, a bit of a hellacious push. And as you said, 3-on-3. Plant hasn't come down on Forrester. Nullifies Searson. Advantage now firmly in favor of Entropiq. Bomb has just been planted down. Molotov could be extinguished. That was an important moment in this round. If Crimbo took down me, it would be a 2-on-2 and they'd have control over Monster. As it stands though, Tizian not for the first time in a clutch situation on low HP. And it's looking like he may go down. Spray is good for the first, but now his position is compromised and he will fall. Entropiq take the first map 16-11.
Great awareness from Mir. Just go for the wide swing. He knew they could be the upper